Go, Chris Jones, go! I ain't going nowhere, baby!
He ain't going anywhere. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, Chris Jones has signed a 5-year deal with $95 million in guarantees. The details haven't come out yet on that, but according to NFL's network's Ian Rappaport, Jones will receive $32 million a year, so he collects $95 million over the first 3 years of his contract. Once final details are in place, Jones will have the highest average annual salary of any defensive tackle in NFL history. So Chris Jones, he got the bag, he got what he wanted, and for those who may have not wanted to pay him as much money, it seems like the whole trust in Veach thing for those people, I'm going to tell that. Trust Brett Veach. If you don't trust Chris Jones' plays, what he's shown on the field, then I don't know what to tell you. But, hey, you can trust Brett Veach as far as inking Chris Jones in here for at least a 5-year deal. I don't know how many years it's going to be, but at least 3 to 5 years with this whole thing. So I'm ecstatic. We can finally begin the offseason talk. Now that's out of the way. But tonight's a night to rejoice and celebrate keeping Chris Jones in Kansas City. Teja, we haven't seen you since Super Bowl week. What are your thoughts on this special breaking news here tonight?
I guess I'm only around for the good news lately, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, when you called me and told me I was on the road, I was so happy. We need to do a live stream. I was like, we signed Jones, and that was it's great. I'm so happy he does so many. Let's not even get into him, what he does on the field. Let's just talk about, like, it's great, especially now, to be able to have a guy. I'm hoping this, we've said with Jones' skill set, he can play well into his 30s. This will put him at 35 if he does. I've heard it's more so like a 3-year deal. But they did this so he can they gave it the 5 years so he can spread the bonuses out and make him an official highest paid DT. If he plays the whole way through, he'll be 34. He can always restructure later on. So he's here for 3 years at minimum. So that is amazing. And to have a guy that you draft, you keep. It just says a lot about Kansas City, too, because especially all the bad press they got about facilities and ranking so low and a lot of things, like, guys stay for a long time. We have 3 lifers, and that's a lot more than most teams can say about one guy. So we have 3 like franchise players, all-time greats at their positions that stay their entire time. So other people that see guys like Drew Tranquil re-signing after taking the chance and betting on himself for a 1-year deal. Chris Jones may have looked at someone like Tyreek Hill and been like, man, do I want to live in regret and go to award shows and have to watch with my family Kansas City play for another Super Bowl for what? At what cost, right? What's worth it to me? So it's amazing. I don't know how far apart they were. I don't know if he even wanted more than this. I mean, they still take as much as he can get, right? It's hard to really, and I was thinking of Jones, the player, too. And it's everyone wants to always say, oh, he's not as good as Donald. And so you just get less than him. Does he? Is he? That's so outdated, dude. That whole Donald thing. I was like, all right, let's live with Donald. Last 3 years, Donald has 25.5 sacks. Jones is 35. Last 3 years. So 10 more than him. That's regular season. And I don't want to hear the doubled excuse because they both get doubled, okay, every friggin' play.
Mm-hmm. And not to mention the rings aspect of it, too, the hardware.
Yeah. And what he does in those games. Jones is not just a regular season sack artist. He comes up big in the biggest games. Forget about sacks. What he does is far beyond a sack. He also has the stats, too, which is great, averaging about 12 over the last 3 years. Mm-hmm. But what he does, he pushes the pocket. He throws a tackle. There's no stat big enough for throwing a tackle or a guard into a quarterback on a game-altering play in the red zone. There's no stat for that.
Yeah, he's a disruptor. I think Chris Sims calls him like a professional shit wrecker. I mean, that's essentially what he does.
He ruins offensive game plans.
Yeah.
He's a game plan ruiner because you can draw up the best, you can draw up the perfect play, and it doesn't matter. Ayuk was wide open in the end zone on that play.
Yeah.
And why couldn't he even Purdy couldn't wrap his head around? Because before Purdy can move his head about 6 inches revolving to the left, Jones threw another human being at him.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
What's amazing is, and as lifelong Chief fans, as we are, as everybody in the chat is, I think everyone can kind of agree. It's very much like winning back-to-back Super Bowls and much like being in this dynasty period. It's like really heartwarming to say that we're going to have in the world of sports that it is now, that guys don't stay with their teams for their whole careers. We're going to have 3 guys, potentially, right? Everyone thought Brady was going to stay with New England forever. And he did for the most part. But we're going to have 3 guys, Jones, Kelsey, and Mahomes, are going to be lifelong Chief guys. And that's, in this day and age in sports, that just doesn't happen. And it's refreshing to see that. And it's also refreshing to see that our owner, and kind of what you were talking about, he's been coming under fire, under scrutiny, being called a cheap guy, not willing to pay his guys, not willing to pay for facilities. And at the end of the day, he opened up his wallet and he took out his balls and he slammed them on the table, man. He paid up. I mean, really. I mean, we're gonna see what the details are on this, but all signs point to this being a record-setting deal. And Clark Hunt, hey man, kudos to him. I hope everybody who came out and dogged him, all these hot take artists and media heads, I hope they come out and apologize to Clark Hunt, because he knew he had to pay Chris Jones, and he did. He came out and did it. And that's one thing. Yeah, the facilities were shit, and I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna make an excuse for a billionaire not cleaning up these facilities. No. But you know what? He paid up in the end. He's keeping Andy Reid in town. He's keeping Spags in town. He's keeping Chris Jones in town. I mean, yeah, he's keeping Joe Cullen in town. He's keeping everybody in town. He's paying the guys. He's paying his people.
Well, they're great business decisions, right? Because if you look at how much the Chiefs are worth now compared to what they were worth 6 years ago, 7 years ago, it's huge. It's monumental. So not only is it a good football move, it's a great business move. So it would have been dumb for him to do it. You can't even forget about cheap. If he didn't do this, it wouldn't have been a cheap thing. It just would have been it's a bad business move. You do this, So there's a million reasons why you should have done it. But guys still don't do it. It's not always a slam dunk. But that's why most guys out there, the Rappaports, the Schefters, they've been pretty optimistic about this happening for a while. I know I never had a doubt either, but I kind of did. You know what I mean?
Naturally, I think everybody had doubt as it got closer to Monday. I think everyone was scared. I was, for sure.
Well, everyone should be scared after Tyreek Hill, because no one saw that coming, right? Everyone thought it was going to be Tyreek, Kelsey, and Mahomes for life, right? Yep. So it really became Chris Jones, Kelsey and Mahomes for life. Yep. So 2 Super Bowls later, I can't complain about that move, right? Yep. You took the cheaper of the 2 offensive weapons. You took and it was just a genius move to get to cut bait on the guy who's, Hill's, game plan proof. I'm not going to say he isn't, but in a time where they are trying to take deep balls away, you kept his safety fallback option, and you took the most important player on defense, and that's where you went with that. Those are your horses. I cannot complain with that decision. It's been amazing. It's been 2 Super Bowls since then, and they continue to make great football moves, and it really instills confidence. This is why when I always get in debates with other team fans, they want to get into like a tit for tat. Well, you guys did this. Well, you guys did this. I trust my coaching. I trust my management team. And we have the track record. I can say I'm not a homer for agreeing with them. They've won me over. They've won the entire league over, really. So no one should be doubting them on TV at this point. You have to have sake of argument. It's fun. But we did have a doubt, not because I think they would make the bad decision, but because I think with Mahomes back there, you can always make an argument that will be okay. You know, imagine if Jones's number was just too high. Hey, man, we heard that the Raiders are going to offer us like 36 a year. Can you do that? And we're like, no, we can't. And then once his Katz brothers leave the room, your assistant GM goes, hey, Veach, we have Mahomes. We'll be all right. And you know what? I wouldn't blame Veach would be like, all right, yeah, you're probably right. We'll be all right. But they didn't do that.
Yeah. So I'm reading here now, just getting more updates are coming in. This whole thing's dropping. But Sam McDowell of Kansas City Star, he tweeted saying the Chiefs also believe he would get more in the initial 3 years if free agency hit Monday. So if he got to, that was the whole thing. If it got to Monday, shit was going to hit the fan. He was going to get a bag from someplace, and a lot of people speculated as the Vegas Raiders. And I feel bad for, I don't know if anyone here, because everyone in the chat knows is on Twitter all the time. Anytime there was a Chris Jones related tweet, it was Raiders fans always at the top with these Photoshop photos of him wearing silver and black, which looked disgusting. I want to throw when I saw Chris Jones in a silver and black uniform. But yeah, it broke a lot of other teams' hearts today. I also saw Bengals fans photoshopping Chris Jones on their jerseys and stuff. It broke a lot of fans' hearts today. But I'm also reading here that pretty much Sneed's going to have to be traded now for this to happen, for this Chris Jones structure to work. He cannot play. That Sneed will not be able to play on this tag. Also expect a significant Patrick Mahomes restructuring and either one of Jawan Taylor or Joe Tooney to restructure as well. It's probably going to be Tooney based on the fact that Jawan Taylor is a flat contract. So, yeah, which, I mean, we can have little episodes on Jawan Taylor's contract. Another day. But tonight's a night to rejoice about Chris Jones.
Don't false start on that one.
Yeah, I won't. That's a good one. I like that.
You like that? Yeah.
But no, I honestly, I was expecting something to happen tomorrow, not tonight. But when I saw the news, like, shit, man, like we got to rally and a live stream up for this to react to this one, because like this is huge. This is like, not only is it huge for Chris Jones and life changer for him and his family, generational wealth forever and ever. Amazing. He's earned it. But as far as being a Chief, and I alluded to it earlier, I said it. It's just that the fact that we're going to have guys who want to stay in Kansas City. Never have we had that. We haven't had guys who want to stay here. Yeah, you had the low-level type guys, not stars, man. We have just star power here. You know, it helps being in the middle of a dynasty. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.